This is an example of making a material and no UV layout is needed, unless baking is required. I will make wood material for a desk. It is best to apply modifiers before making the material. I start with an object that has no material. I will use Ucupaint to make a material. My method is to make a box shape roughly the same size as the object. I create the material for the box and then transfer the material to the finished object. I find this method allows me to understand the material and create the material easier. Watch closely and see what you think. So I have two objects. It is important to remove the scaling and rotation of the object before proceeding since scaling and rotation does affect this type of material. I will make the material for the box shape first. A roughness channel can barely be seen, so I leave it out. There will only be two channels used, a color and a normal channel for bumping. I start with a light brown background and then a dark brown solid color layer. I choose a mask. I like a magic mask. It is difficult to use, but it gives interesting results. Be sure that the vector is object. Input is magic factor to make the mask grayscale. I will preview this mask. I put a ramp on the mask to control the grayscale. Depth is 4. The scale must be very small. I choose 0.2. A pattern now is formed on the surface. Increase distortion. I will give the wood some knots. Scale in the Y direction to make a wood grain. Scale in the X direction to make the top of the box look like it is made of wood. Scale in the Z direction to make the front side of the box look like wood. Turn off the active mask preview to see the final colors. Adjust distortion to create some wood knots. But what about the ends of the box? The material doesn't look like it is wood on the ends. I will show you a trick. First, you should understand how this material is formed. In edit mode, move the front face and see how the material is formed in space. I named this material Woody 11. I will make a special second material to be used only for the ends of the box. Click the plus sign. This creates a second material, however currently it is assigned to no faces. I must assign this second material to the end faces. I make this second material the same as first material. I rename the second material so I won't be confused. I click the new material icon so this material will be unique. Note that there is only one user of this material. Ucupaint has a warning message because it knows that I created two materials. I click the warning message. In the edit mode, I assign the end faces of the box to the second material. I have the second material selected. I do a rotation of 90 degrees in the Z direction. Note the change in the end faces. It now looks like real wood on all faces. I can also adjust the offset in the Z direction so the wood pattern aligns. Now it is time to transfer the material from the box to the desk. Ctrl L. Both materials were transferred to the desk. However, the faces weren't assigned properly. I hide the box, since it isn't needed anymore. I assigned the end faces to the second wood material. Note that the inside of the desk needs the second material to be assigned to it as well. So the desk now has a realistic wood material, but it required two materials. You can now turn on the normal channel for bumping. This creates more realism, but don't overdo it. Since we have two materials, we must turn on to normal channels. I choose 0.6, but that is too much. Finally, point 07. I can create more knots in the wood by increasing the distortion. Note that there is no need to make a UV layout for this object unless you want to bake the material. Remember that baking does require a UV layout. Thanks for watching.